Welcome, everybody, to today's Building My Legacy podcast. I have with us today Jennie Capati. She is a confidence coach, and she started by being a style coach. And wow, that's something that so many people need and want, I think. So tell us your journey and how you got to doing what you're doing and what you see challenges are that people have.
Sure. First, thanks for having me here. It's so nice to be able to share my story with you and others. Definitely a journey of self-discovery, of confidence building within myself, and really just trying to live the best life that I can in my now without having to have that that mindset that I used to have before, which was totally shifted when I discovered holistic imaging while I was in school. So I went back to school just a few years back, 3 years ago, and I was working at a hospital as administrative assistant for like 15 years. I was never happy there. It was never me. I've always been a very creative soul. I love color, I love fashion, I love being able to just be creative with anything and everything. And so that limited my way of thinking. It was more structure, it was a lot of paperwork, and definitely day in and day out with everything going on in my life, my family, trying to support them. Of course, I had young children then. And so it became this zombie, what I call the zombie life, where it was a plateau. I was not happy with myself. I was very stressed, overwhelmed. In a way, resentful too, because I wasn't doing what I wanted. It was never me, and I just felt drained out. But as I was turning 40, I really thought, I sat there at my desk in my office thinking, am I going to retire here? That was like the question that made everything shift in me. Am I going to retire here? I'm turning 40. So life starts to really, you start thinking about life in a way that it's more meaningful. What have I done that has made an impact?
Right.
Besides my family, because I've always wanted to help others. But with that being said, I want to mean that you are able to control yourself in so many ways without having to depend on others to bring that happiness, as we are kind of brought up thinking. I was never taught that it all depended on me, and it was really me to bring out the best of me in life with what I felt and what I thought of myself.
Right.
And so that confidence came along. And then once I was done, I started helping a lot of women with their wardrobe, with what they wanted, and they were happy. They felt, this change also, but it wasn't deep inside change, that internal confidence of your own beauty kind of change. And so we went further. I started to help them develop a change of mindset with affirmations, with really that self-love, and really spending more time on getting to know themselves and what they wanted out of their lives. And so that's where the confidence coaching came along. And I guess with everything that I already went through and developed for myself, I was able to give that with ease and with strategies that have helped me to my clients. So that's where my story started as a coach.
So, Jennie, what do you find are some of the people's biggest challenges as they deal with both style and confidence? Because I think style often reflects confidence.
Definitely. I started, it's funny because a lot of the corporate women that are out there, and they're other CEOs, business, they have to preserve that image of themselves to, be a certain way, act a certain way, because they're a walking logo, entrepreneurs or anything like that. And so they know that they have to maintain their image, they have to maintain that look. But with that being said, they also can't sometimes be as creative as they would want to, because it's work. And so the fun begins when they discover that there's other ways to dress, because they're so used to dressing a certain way. They don't really put their sense of style with that. And so discovering that about yourself, what you like, and feeling comfortable that decisions that you make within you about you, your image, it's part of building that confidence also. And it goes a long way with their lifestyle, of course, with their work.
Jenny, what's interesting is that people don't know what they want in style. You think, well, of course people know that, but I think that's true. We don't know what we want about a lot of things. Yeah. And so then we just struggle and wonder why things aren't moving the way we think they should. So I think that's fascinating that it also happens at the style level.
Oh, for sure. The self-discovery is everything, right? How we're going to express ourselves in what we wear and how we look, our hair. I think that's all self-expression of what we are and what we want out of life ourselves, how we want people to see us. And really going deep inside of you and finding that root of who am I, what do I want out of my life, and you know, once we develop that, we really get comfortable within our own skin. And so we show that as we start to dress for our own shapes and bodies, because we're all different. No one is equal in that sense of, our own curves, our own height. And so if we really develop that sense of comfort within our own skin, everything becomes so much easier. Just getting ready in the morning on its own becomes, you don't have doubts on what you're going to wear that morning, because and you feel so good about yourself that you just grab that outfit and you're ready to go. It doesn't take long.
So is there a process you take people through, Jenny, in this self-discovery process?
Of course. Like I said, it starts with your mind. It's everything about your self-limiting beliefs, really. Let's start right there with the fact that we're women. We're really hard on ourselves, I think.
Yes, we are.
Yes.
We're never the right shape, the right size, the right anything, right?
Exactly. So that has to change. That, we demand so much of ourselves to be the best mom, best at work, best, at home, maintaining everything in a way that it takes a lot of us, a lot of ourselves to get it, in perfect, as some people would want it perfect.
Right.
But there's no such thing as being perfect. So I think if we start thinking and shifting our mindset to being more at ease and being more self-loved within, what we give is what we're giving it with love, without having that that thinking that it has to be a certain way or it's never enough.
Right.
And so once we shift our mind in that sense to be more self-loving and having more time for us also, because you can't really pour of an empty cup, right? We have to have it, we have to have it full. And in order to do that, we have to be able to be happy with us and have time for ourselves. And if we need to ask for help, you ask for help. It's okay. I think we're so used to doing things on our own, and we forget that, it's okay to get help here and there. That's as long as we're able to give that time for us to develop our best selves. So whether that is, a few minutes to read, a few minutes to unwind, a few minutes to reflect, a few minutes to meditate, a few minutes to journal. So I bring all of those strategies into that care, that self-care. and you develop a different mindset with that. You start to really get to know that it's necessary to do that every day. Yeah.
So what kind of people come to you generally to get help with confidence?
I get a lot of different women, to be honest with you. It's, from entrepreneurs to, like I said, CEOs are running their own companies. They're starting their business, some of them, and moms also. Like it's not limiting to who I can service. It's more of who wants to change and really develop their confidence within themselves and know that they can level up to the best of themselves. So if you truly want that, those are the women I usually work with, because we develop that as we work one-on-one. I do group coaching also, but I realized that it's not a particular women that come to me. It's really women that want to change themselves to a sexier, confident, rooted confidence that they want to develop. And so when I say sexy in my program, I actually mean rooted confidence. It's confidence of your body, confidence in your mind, confidence in who you are. So, and it's nice to have all of those, which just, it becomes sexy, right? Confidence is sexy. And I give them a little treat at the end of a makeover with style after that.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
So if you do a makeover with style, does that mean your clients are primarily local, or do you do this via Zoom as well?
We do it via Zoom as well. I haven't a lot of my clients are actually in the States, to be honest with you. And we go through they send me pictures on the body shape. We do go through the process of what to wear depending on your body shape. Everyone's different, like I said, and what stores to go to. So it's narrowed down to having an easier lifestyle, really, because once you know what stores you could go for your body shape, then you don't use your time being wasted on stores that you can't buy.
Right.
So we go through all that process, and then we go through getting to know their style. What is it that they like to wear, in their leisure time? How are they still going to present themselves? With the family, how are they still gonna, you can still dress down and yet still look presentable. So we go through casual wear to office wear to your, leisure time kind of wear. So, yeah.
So tell me, does style come before confidence or confidence before style?
I think confidence definitely is before style. Yes.
Okay.
Because once you develop your confidence, you really are free to that style you've always within you, that woman you become. And style doesn't stay the same. It's a transformational thing that comes as you change as a woman. I'm not the same woman as I was 10 years ago or 5 years ago. So It's going to change. You don't necessarily have to have a style that's trending all the time. I don't believe in necessarily trends, like as in a particular trend is in and you have to complete your wardrobe that way. It's more, that classic where you get to buy certain pieces that you can always alternate throughout years to come. So,
right.
And we go through all that. So it's a lot of time management, unnecessary spending, which we as women sometimes do because it looks great on someone else and we think it's going to be great on us. And trust me, I did a lot of that before. And now I know that I have a certain pieces in my closet that I can versatile with other trends, perhaps. Like, it's fun. Trends are fun. And I think it's all about having fun and being joyful with your style. So yes, style is after you develop your true confidence and your true beauty.
I have a sense that with you, confidence and playfulness sort of go together. And I don't think we think of confidence and playfulness as being coexistent or necessary to be together. And I just see it all over your face. So talk a little bit more about that.
Yes. Well, like I said, listen, in order to be happy within yourself, you have to enjoy the things that you long to do. If that means more reading, if that means, and it could be the little things. It doesn't have to be the big things. With everything that's happening in our life today, I think we've all managed to have a sense of reality of what's important in life, the little things. We're starting to really understand that those are the things we neglected before. And with that being said, we are starting to be more joyful with our own families, the spending more time with them. And yes, we're restricted on other things that we wish we could all do, which is, connection one-on-one with networking or whatnot. And that was joyful to me. But then I had to figure out the other means of what could bring joy into my life, which is, being in your podcast right here is joyful. And I love, having to share my story, and interacting with my clients via Zoom. I do it more than before because I feel that, people are needing that one-on-one connection. And if that means for them to see me, for me to see them, it just makes it more realistic, right? So I try not to be on the phone as much anymore. It's more Zoom and, getting to know my clients that way.
Right.
That brings joy to me. And we do practice that internal, getting to know yourself. It's a key to what brings joy to your life. And that's what you need to do more of. And that's what you need to develop more of. Because then that just brings more smile into your face. That brings that, vibration that you need in order to attract the best in your life. Yeah.
So I think I had never thought of using style and confidence as going together, but in some ways, it makes so much sense to approach mindset and your limiting beliefs through that, because style is so safe. It's a safe place to begin. You don't have to say, I'm Lois, I have a problem, and this is it, and please come and fix me, right? You can just say, I want to look better and be more appropriate for what it is that I do at work. And that's your foot in the door.
Yes, definitely. And I mean, once you have that mindset, no one can take that away from you. You become more optimistic, and, life throws things at you all the time. Of course, it's the way it goes, but you have a different outlook, and you face them differently because you know that you've developed this rooted confidence, that there's a different way to approach things, a more positive way.
Yes.
And so you're more successful that way because you're looking at life in a different way, where you're successful in your business. You think differently when it comes to your business. You become this optimistic person that doesn't look at the problem within the problem, but you look at the solution for that problem. So in your regular life, relationships, anything, like once you develop these strategies and you develop that different mindset, it goes with everything in your life. It's one-on-one success. It's in your business, success with relationships, with, being happier and just living life in your now. And yeah.
Jennie, you talked about holistic coaching. Talk a little bit about that. What is it, and what kind of process is it, and why does it work?
Okay, so holistic imaging is understanding that you are able to control yourself, and you can't control what happens around you, but we can control how we react to things.
Got it.
So that is key to understanding that you're in the center of that circle that's always rotating, And so when things get hectic and someone reacts a certain way or says things to you in a certain way, you're able to control yourself in the way you react to that. Because that's the only thing you can control. You can't control the way that person might be, expressing
so
themselves.
True. So true. Yeah.
So once you understand that process of how we can control ourselves and how we can practice that within our everyday life, that becomes that holistic image. And really, you're giving them an understanding of who you are with the way you react to things.
Got it.
Yeah.
So when you think of people who may be listening to this podcast, what was it that you would like them to think about them in terms of themselves and how they feel about themselves? What do you think is an important message for them to have in terms of beginning to look at who they really are?
Right. So understanding that you are unique, that you are one of a kind. Like if we think about the fact that no one else will come and be you in this lifetime, that on its own, it's a gift. That on its own is what I think it's a miracle, really. No one else can fill my shoes. No one else is going to act the way that I act. No one else is going to have the features that I have. No one else will have the same shape that I have. And so if you think about that magic within that, it becomes this like, it's like a butterfly. You fly into this world with this sense of like uniqueness, and you embrace that uniqueness because no one else can fill the shoes. And you are one of a kind. So that on its own, it's pure magic, I think. So if you can take that in your mind and embrace the uniqueness of yourself and your body shape, your beauty, that on its, when you start looking at things that way, I mean, that it's rooting confidence within yourself.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's interesting how many angles you have to look at to really have confidence. And I think we tend to do, our approach to confidence building tends to be linear, like everything else. And what I love about what you bring is it's a safe way to begin to explore who you are and what you want to change. Most of us want to look better. And so we're motivated into that behavior change. Other behavior changes, we may think we want them, but we're not motivated enough to make the change, right? So I think it's a brilliant way to begin that whole journey for people.
Exactly. I mean, society gives us this perspective, this artificial way of seeing what beauty should look like. And that's, I think, it's changing slowly. I see the change. They're having to put more curvy models in magazines, not necessarily one particular shape or height, but it's slowly getting there. So I think if we start to do that within ourselves, that change, and we embrace who we are without having the pressure of what society, wants us to be, and so that's freedom right there, freedom of who we are.
Yeah, and so part of what I hear you saying also is you're resetting the standards, because Hollywood doesn't have to be the standard. The model doesn't have to be the standard. And you're right, that change is beginning to come. We're beginning to own it more. COVID's been fabulous for that, because people suddenly realize, A, no one's going to see them because they're working from home.
Right.
And so I think there's been more self-reflection about who am I and who do I need to be today. Are you finding that change at all, or what are you seeing happening?
Oh, definitely. I think people are realizing that, like I said before, the little things are, becoming the big things that we took for granted. And having good health, but I mean good health, I mean mentally, spiritually, and physically. And so, you don't have to hit the gym the entire day. You don't have to, be uncomfortable to work out in any, it's just taking care of your body in a way that you make the right decisions with your health. You drink enough water, you go for a walk, you breathe fresh air. And so all of that helps to stimulate a healthy mind. It's all connected. So once I think a lot of us are starting to realize that that connection needs to happen in order to have a healthier life. Yeah.
So Jennie, our time is almost up. It's amazing. Tell me, what have we missed? Would you like the audience to know that we haven't talked about, or things that we've left incomplete?
Sure. I actually right now I'm gonna be launching my 2021 year new program for women. Okay. And it's all about what I just talked about, that sexy confidence. It's some girls have had me as one-on-one coaching, and there's a lot of advantages to that. Of course, they get me one-on-one once a week. There's that accountability within my client. And so, but there's also that grouping coaching, which is affordable or more accessible to other women. And with that, there's, that group connection, that more of a, that team and community where we get to talk about all of this and more.
Right.
And so that's coming up in the next 2 weeks, so people can take advantage of the sale, and so that they're ready to start their new year with so much self-love and development that they'll get from me. So I'm very excited about this because, it's taken me about 2 years to really develop a very easy, not necessarily hard. I think some people feel like they have to do all this work and, I don't have time. And I totally understand that, because that was me before. It's about focusing on the action and really developing that with ease, not necessarily, brain surgery.
Right.
So we get to do those steps strategically, just to aim and focus on getting your goals done. And so there's, that momentum, and you see the change, you feel the change, and it's just pure, to me, it's a blessing to be able to help people.
You know what, you're right. 2021 is around the corner, and we all have goals, right? Yes. So this is the time to look at what are the goals going to be, and what are your goals for style, for self-confidence, for taking care really of who you are, so you can really accomplish what you want to accomplish in 2021.
Correct. Even Jennie, with everything that's happening.
We will have information in our show notes so that people can get in contact with you and join you in your course. And those of you who are listening, if you have difficulty connecting, just let us know. We'll be glad to connect you with Jennie. So thank you so much, Jennie, for being with us today on Building My Legacy podcast. And for those of you who are listening, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. It was so much fun. Thank you.
It was wonderful. Thank you. I just love the perspective. Style to confidence. It seems so safe and so wonderful.
Yes.
And so also please remember that to visit us on our website at buildtomorrow.com. It's 2 with a number 2, and all of our social media channels at buildtomorrow.com. Thanks very much. Thank you for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell button above. Leave comments. We'd love to hear what you think. And visit our other social media links as well. Thanks much.